When thinking about a mini cine rig, we often think about cameras like the Sony FX3, which is famed for being a top-end cinema camera. You rig it out with all of this equipment, and this whole setup will cost you just shy of £5,000. That's too much in my opinion. It's time for something new. Welcome to my review of the Fuji X-M5. Now, I was really stunned when this camera first came out because I've never tried Fuji before, but I had to give it a try. And now I'm going to tell you that this camera is an absolute game changer, and I've never used that word before on this channel. Never. This camera has an APS-C sensor. It's a Super 35. It can also shoot 6K using the full sensor, which is absolutely insane. For a camera that only costs $799, I think this is unheard of. Learning about Fuji's X-Trans sensor and how it's different from a Bayer sensor in the way that it captures light means that Fuji don't have to put an optical low-pass filter over their sensor. This means that they can reduce more whilst giving you the sharpest image. Absolutely incredible. The camera is so small, much smaller than the original Blackmagic Pocket cinema camera, the OG. I never thought I would see a camera that was as small as this that was packing so much power. They've also managed to equip it with all the ports that a filmmaker would need. A full-size headphone jack, USB-C, HDMI. It also has a full-size mic jack on the rear. It has every port that you're going to need. The magic happens when you turn the camera on. This camera boasts some really impressive specs. We have multiple shooting resolutions from 6.2K, 5.2K, 4K, 1080p. Everything is here inside this camera. We can control the XLR adapter from inside this camera. The camera also has timecode, which a lot of professionals are going to love. Whether you're going to use timecode on this camera or not, I don't know. But the fact that it's in here when it's not on even more expensive cameras is amazing. And then we get into the HDMI settings. If you have a monitor that has record control, you can trigger this camera to record. And then we have the raw output settings, up to 6.2K on the Atomos or the Blackmagic Video Assist. Are they sure that this camera is made for vloggers? We tried it out with the Video Assist 12G, but all of the footage that you're going to see from the film later is recorded on the internal codec. But rigging this up and using it with the Blackmagic Video Assist posed no problems at all. I wouldn't rig like this. I would keep my camera small and handy just so I can run around with it and capture some high quality footage. But I will go over the build later if you want to see how we built up this rig. But there is one thing I know that's on everybody's mind.
Look at me.
From the videos that I saw in the review, I wasn't expecting much from the autofocus, but to my surprise, the autofocus was actually really good. Now, you do have to change your settings to make it work really well, but absolutely amazing. I put it up against my Sony ZV-E1 with its amazing Sony autofocus and AI autofocus, and in some areas it actually beat it. Now, I'm not going to say this is going to happen in every single situation, but for me, if I want to do talking heads when I'm in front of the camera at home or on my travels, or even just creating just basic videos, this is definitely good enough to do that. More than good enough. So now I'm going to go through my highly recommended accessories for the Fuji X-M5. Okay, so you got your XM5 and you probably want to know what you need to buy to get this going. What is the most important things to buy, whether you're vlogging or whether you're creating films with your XM5? So the first thing we're going to look at is the Smallrig cage for the XM5. And this is a beautiful cage. Vintage look, all this black around the sides with these bronzed edges. Gold accents on there, the pins. Gives you a much better grip with this wooden grip here. Baby Arca Swiss at the bottom, or mini Arca Swiss I should say. And cold shoe at the top. 3/8, quarter 20s. You've got so much going on here. Now this cage comes with a few extras as well. So as well as getting the cage, you get one of these buttons here for the shutter. You get this cold shoe, which is in top, which you can see here. This cold shoe cover, which is made of metal as well. And you also get a dual wind muff that covers all of the mics at the top, just in case you're going to use the internal mic for recording. I probably won't be using the internal mic, to be honest, but you do get one of those in the pack should you need it. So to get this on, we're just going to put this straight into the camera. And we're going to tighten up the bottom screw. And there's also another locking screw here, another locking. So you can just put that inside into the strap holder on the camera. And then just tighten this up as well. And now your camera's locked in from a couple different points. Lovely looking cage, and it doesn't add too much bulk either. Very nice. Now we're going to screw the button into the shutter. And there you go. A nice little red accent there. So that's a Smallrig cage for the XM5, and I highly recommend this one. Because on the XM5, they put the mount in a bit of a weird space. It's right on the edge here. Usually they're in the middle somewhere, but it's right on the edge here. So you need something that when you're going to open up your battery port to change battery and SD card, it's easy enough to do with the Smallrig cage. They've really thought this one out. Also, I bought myself this cold shoe thumb rest here from Amazon, and this thumb rest also comes with a shutter button, so I actually have two of these now. And this is good if you're planning not to put on a cage or anything like that, because it will help you to get a good grip on the XM5, because it's a small camera, so you need to get a good grip as possible. So this really helps you to get a nice grip on the camera, whether you're using the cage or not. Your Q button is completely blocked, you can see, but these can be remapped. I've remapped actually a lot of these buttons anyway, just to give me easier access for filmmaking. So yeah, that's all the Smallrig stuff right there. Then we're going to talk about power, because when you buy the XM5, you only get one battery and a USB-C cable, nothing else, no charger, nothing else. The batteries I want to recommend are this set here by Lano, dual camera battery and charger set. Now this comes in this rubberized case here, which you can see, and it has USB-C charging, and it recharges the batteries in about an hour. So this costs £60 for the case and two batteries. And you can see this little screen here on the front. If I press the button, you can see it gives me the charge for two batteries. The left one has 17%, the right one has 100. So if I open it, you can see the two batteries there, and they lock in quite tightly and nicely. Yeah, and as I said, it will charge each battery in about an hour's time, yeah. The Fuji batteries don't last that long, so you'll need to pick up a couple of extra for that reason. And also with this case, you can see I've got SD cards here. So this has got actually SD card holder built in, and they push in and lock just like a normal SD card would do in like a camera. And there's one in that side, and we've got one, push that down, and we've got one on the other side here as well. So yeah, highly recommend this Lano dual charger with two batteries, and it costs you around £60 on Amazon. So those are my must buys. Then lastly, I just want to show you this kind of ghetto little build that I've done here for the film that I'm going to show you in a second. It was just a quick run and gun short film, nothing special. So I had to put something together to get the Arca Swiss onto a plate and get an external battery and stuff like that. So this is just like a cheese plate here, a small cheese plate with a mini Arca Swiss that goes on the tripod. The camera goes on here, and then we've got a MPF plate with just a battery in here. And that was just to charge the camera and the fan I had on the XM5. So now it's time to put this little baby to work. And we've got the gaffer here, Adrian, helping me out on this shoot. We're setting up the light stands. And the light we're going to be using is a Smallrig RC220B Pro. We're also going to use the Smallrig LA090 softbox. For this one light that we're going to use for the scenes, we're going to be using a Smallrig VB99 V-mount battery. And here's what the shot looked like. Now this is the first time I'm using F-Log2 and I'm shooting at ISO 1250. This short is going to be a bit dark. The subject matter is going to be a bit dark, so I'm giving you a warning now. It's based off of the BBC show Luther, and if any of you have watched that show, you'll know that it has some really touchy subjects. So if you're a bit sensitive to touchy subjects, I suggest you switch off now.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's a high-powered motorcycle. Filtering each other around on towards Fisher Road towards Suffolk.
Police are appealing for information after 3 children were reported missing yesterday evening.
Well, this police appeal has now been live for a few hours, urging anyone with any information about 3 missing children in Surrey to come forward. They were last seen at 7 o'clock. Image there, and police have issued descriptions of the 3 children as well to help anybody locate them if they do see them.
What is it? What is it about these kids?
Yeah, Gov, here's the evidence you asked for.
All right, nice one. Cheers. Hello. I'm on my way. Jesus. Okay, so we reached the end of the video, and I just wanted to say that cameras are more than just, you know, buying cameras and shooting and showing them off online or whatever. Cameras, they allow people to have a window into your soul, to create the things that you want to create, and sometimes you just want to do that in the best quality possible whilst having the most minimal gear possible. And although I've got a lot to learn in Fuji, because I don't know anything about Fuji, everything what we did in that film was experimental in terms of the ISO and F-Log and stuff like that. It was all experimental, but I have to say, It's probably one of the most amazing cameras that I have used. This is the best small cinema camera that I have used in 2024. And yes, I'm going to call it a cinema camera because it's going to replace my OG and any other small camera that I have. We're going to do some more videos on this because we've got to do videos on the lenses as well. So there's going to be a few more videos coming. So yeah, just enjoy your content creation journey and just have fun with it. Take care guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.